This is my evidence 3 of human body care. My name is Maria Jose Delgado Tracy, and I'm going to talk about the male and female reproductive systems, the physic and the hormonal, both cases, and at the end, I'm going to talk about the birth control methods.
Okay, we're going to talk about the male reproductive system. The first thing we need to know about the male reproductive system is that the reproductive cell of the male is the sperm. Okay, the sperm is formed on the testes. This one is a testis, our testis. There are a skin that surrounds the testis that is called the scrotum. This one are the scrotum. Okay. Once the sperm is formed, it's stored at the epididymis. Epididymis is this one up here. Okay, when the ejaculation is about to happen, the sperm travel throughout the ductus deferens, that is this one, until they reach the ampulla, where the sperm is stored, and it connected with the seminal gland and the vulvourethral gland. Okay, with the seminal gland and the vulvourethral gland, it forms the semen. The semen is a substance that it mixes the sperm with another substance. Then the semen is stored at the prostate gland until the ejaculation happens. When the ejaculation is about to happen, the semen passes throughout the urethra until they go out. And this is how the male reproductive systems works. The hormonal regulation of the male starts with the brain. The brain is the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus stimulates the pituitary gland to produce testosterone. The testosterone is the male hormone. The testosterone causes beard and body hair growth, promotes the growth of the prostate gland, and contributes to the male sexuality and causes bones and muscle growth. That means that testosterone makes men be men. Then the pituitary gland produces FSH and LH. The LH stimulates the Leydig cell, and the FSH stimulates the Sertoli cell. Those cells make the sperm, make them stronger and help them to produce it. And with the sperm, it starts all the reproductive system, and that's how it works. Now we will talk about the female reproductive system. The ovaries, they're these ones over here, produce the female egg called oocytes. Then the oocytes is transported to the fallopian tube, this one over here, fallopian tube, where the fertilization occurred. Once the fertilized egg moves through the uterus, where it has thickened because of the hormones that the female reproductive system has produced. And once the fertilized egg is in the uterus, it continues to develop until it creates a baby. If the fertilization does not take place, the uterine lining is shed as menstrual fluid. That means that the oocytes that is not used, it will continue the trajectory through the cervix, then the vagina, until they go out. When the oocytes go out, the reproductive system produces hormones to maintain the reproductive cycle, and that's how it works. The hormonal regulation of the female starts at the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus produces the gene RH, that with the hypothalamus and the gene RH stimulate the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland produces the FSH and the LH. Those stimulate the uterus to produce ovaries. With the ovaries starts the ovulation, that is the menstrual cycle, and the ovaries produce the female hormones that are estradiol, progesterone, and enaven. The estradiol and progesterone are the one that regulate female sex characteristics in the female cycle, and the enavets helps the pituitary gland to produce FSH. So it's a cycle. So the female reproductive system could work.
Okay, now and finally I'm going to talk about the birth control methods. The first one of all is the abstinence. The abstinence is the most effective of all because it means that it's not engaging in any sexual contact, so it's impossible that the woman can get pregnant. It has an effectiveness of 100%. Now are the ones that include a surgery. There are the vasectomy and the tubal ligation. Okay, the vasectomy, part of each vas differs is removed. And the tubal ligation, both buttocks are tied up and then cut up. The vasectomy have effectiveness of a 99%, and the tubal ligation of a 99.5%. Those ones are very effective. There's just a little bit of possibility that can be something wrong, but it's very effective. Now are the oral concepts. The oral conceptions contain various mixtures of estrogens and progestins that they prevent pregnancy, mainly by negative feedback inhibition of FSH and LH. There are hormones, and it has an effectiveness of almost 100%. It's over 99%. They're very effective. But after you use it, you should go to the doctor and ask which one are the best for you. Now is the contraceptive implants. There are hormones too, but they're not so effective as the oral conceptions. It has an effectiveness of 72%. It's better if you can use oral conceptions. Now is the youth. The youth causes in the endometrium that prevents the implantation of fertilized egg. It has this is very effective too. It has 99% of the effectiveness. It's very effective too. This one, and it has a lifetime of 5 years or 10, depending on which one you choose. Now is diaphragm. The diaphragm. There are spermicides, hold spermicide in place over the opening of the uterus. Spermicide kills sperm, preventing fertilization. Those one are good, but it not have an effectiveness so high. It has an effectiveness of 86%. Now is the male condom. The male condom is the most used of all, and is the most practiced because it's the most easiest to find and the most it's not expensive. The male and the female condom. The male condom is a thin shield made of latex or other synthetic material that fills over the erect penis. During ejaculation, the condom catches semen to prevent it from entering into the vagina and cervix. The male condom, even if it's the most used, it has an effectiveness of at 82%. Then there's the female condom. The female condom is almost the same concept, but in the female body. It's a polyurethane sheath with a closed flexible ring, one in the end and one in the end and ring of the other. This one, even if not is as used as the female, it has more effectiveness. It has an effectiveness of an 89%. Now is the coitus interruptus. This one is not effective. I mean, it has a low rate of effectiveness. It's the most used for the teenagers nowadays. The coitus interruptus, also known as withdrawal or being carefully or giving out at an early stage. Well, it's not very good. And the last one is the morning after pill. This one is just in case of an emergency. It may prevent or delay ovulation. It may interfere with fertilization of an egg. It has an effective of 89%. This one is just in case of an emergency. You can use it. You can't use it as a birth control method daily. Okay, and this is all of the birth control methods. Well, thank you for your attention, and thanks.